So for the past couple of weeks, I've been studying Comet Atlas, which we have a pretty good idea is a planet that is in a parallel orbit with our own solar system and has been here for thousands, if not millions of years. So we're getting together the idea of what Atlas is, and now we also have Comet Catalina, who is part and parcel of Comet Atlas. They have a relationship, and we've seen reports that Comet Atlas has fallen apart, and what we actually see is that two vehicles seem to have been launched from the main body of Comet Atlas, and these two vehicles seem to be pretty enormous in size as well. So I have been studying many of the religious texts on the end times and end of time, the apocalypse, so many different names for these events, and they all have a very common thread that this time will come. It'll be a time of renewal, but there's going to be a time of struggle. So let me predict what I think is going to occur, so we can start preparing ourselves. And every day I'll have some form of study to continue on, to keep the conversation going. And to do that, please hit the like button to help propagate this in the YouTube algorithm. Also, subscribe to the channel. That helps in the algorithm of getting the word out. Amplify the signal, as we would have said in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. Now it's a little bit different with an algorithm, but we can amplify the signal with a couple of clicks, and I would appreciate it. And so would anybody else that gets this message. So there's a lot of talk about in all of the religious texts in the end of time theology is God is going to manifest himself. So there will be no more doubt, how we have the constant argument of evolution and intelligent design, and evolution hasn't proven one single thing, and that's why it's still a theory, because there's just nothing supporting the concept of evolution. But the more we learn about DNA and genetics, we can see that the cell is the smallest supercomputer in the entire world. Every cell on every animal and every plant has a supercomputer built in, and that's genetic code. And I say this because it's important. So we are built by intelligent design. That designer is coming back. The creator of this planet is coming back, and he has left many clues as to when he is doing this with many religions around the world. But the most faithful of an adherence to their religion, to me, has been the Hopi. They have not put themselves in any political fracases. They've kept themselves and their religious traditions, and their ability to prophesize has been stunningly accurate. So the Hopi say when the new age comes, the fifth age, we are in the fourth age right now, and when the fourth age ends, the Creator is going to come back and make himself very apparent. So we're going to see great things happen in the sky. And that's two of the items that were launched from Atlas, I think, are going to rendezvous with planet Earth and make great apparitions. The second thing that they speak of is a turbulent time and a red dawn. So there's going to be a red sky, and when this red sky happens, there's going to be great changes on the planet. And the Hopi elders say, please stay inside during this very complicated time. I think two things are going to happen with this. Pardon, there's a helicopter flying over. We've had some kind of event off the coast where I live. So we, during the end times, we're going to have a red sky, and this is going to affect every animal on the planet. It's going to affect us cellularly. And this is a Hopi prophecy. So something has revealed itself to tell the Hopi that when this red sky happens, there's going to be a change at a cellular level. And then we're going to go back to the old time. So I think this red dawn is also going to cause an electrical magnetic pulse, an EMP, that's going to disable everything electronic on the planet. So God is going to have our undivided attention. And from there, we rebuild society, we rebuild the planet, but we're going to do so without the burden of evil. So all of the prophecies that talk about the fifth age, be it the ancient Mayan traditions, the Middle Eastern traditions, the Eastern traditions, all of them. The Zoroastrian tradition, which is the oldest religion, which every religion on the planet is pretty much based on, says that the new age will be one of peace and evil will not be present in our society, which is going to be very, very wonderful. But there's going to be struggle and tribulation before then. So I would, if I were you, prepare for about 2 to 4 months of supplies. After the EMP happens, there's going to be great confusion, and big cities. This is foretold in many prophecies that big cities are going to struggle during the end times. And if you think of an EMP disabling all the electronics of a city, then people are going to be in a rough way. The rural areas, they can survive because rural culture understands survival, but the urban culture is going to have a very difficult time. So 2 to 4 months worth of supplies, and then everything's going to be rebuilt. The infrastructure is going to be rebuilt. Humanity is going to be rebuilt without evil. If my predictions and my readings of what's going to happen, of the prophecies that all these religions have put out, does not come to pass, the worst thing we're going to have is 2 to 4 months worth of supplies. I've got 2 to 4 months worth of supplies of wine and some canned food that I usually eat, and also some beans. So I have 2 to 4 months of supplies that I'm going to go ahead and use if this does not work out. So I don't see a downside. I do see many upsides. Just keep preparing yourself. If you have a spiritual life, get into your spirituality a little better. Get into your religion a little better. Understand how the prophecies of the end times affect your religion, and also study other religions at this point. The Hopi, I think, have the best prophecy of what's going to happen. It's the red star and the blue star. Study it, look it up. If you have any questions, post them below, and I'll stay in touch with what's happening. All right, peace.